Hi guys, so I'm about to get started on my homemade kit that I just made with the Victoria Marie Make the Kit mini course that she has. And I spent the morning this morning watching the course, and then before I even finished it, I stopped and pulled a kit along with her while she was doing it in her class, in her video for the class. And I want to just go ahead and get started because I had so many ideas. So one thing that I pulled for my inspiration was this magazine here. This is from Scrapbook Trends, and this is a special signature series edition focusing on Amy Tan, both her style and her products. And I thought this would be great because my starting off point for my kit was the Yes Please collection by Amy Tan. So I went ahead and pulled this, and I immediately got some really good inspiration from it. So I'm going to go ahead and start my first layout, and I'm going to show you what my inspiration is for this one. I'm going to go ahead and start with my layout that I'm going to do for back to school that just happened right now. So I have some pictures of my girls before they went to school. I have some pictures of them in their classrooms at their desk, and my husband was able to get off work and come along too, so that was really special. So I'm going to do that here, and I have about 5 pictures to use, so I'm going to go ahead and use this layout here as my inspiration. And I really like how Amy used a grid, and what she did was she actually misted some of her squares, and I thought that was really, really creative. So I'm going to mimic this look here because I did pull some Mr. Huey's spray mist to use on this. So I'm going to use different colors, and I'm going to spray my cardstock and kind of make a little bit of an outline of a grid, and then I will use the squares to fill in and use my pictures and some embellishments and everything like that, and I will do my title on along the bottom as well. I believe these grids or these squares are probably 2x2s. I used 3x3s, so I'm gonna have to see if that's okay. I don't know if I should make them smaller. I don't really think I want to though. I think I want to leave it 3x3. So I definitely know I'm using white cardstock for my background, so I'm gonna mount this on another piece of either cardstock or a piece of pattern paper or something that's colorful on the outside. So I'm going to cut this down. Let me go ahead and do that right now. Actually, I'll do it on camera. I'm just going to cut it down by 1/4 of an inch on each side. So I usually end up just doing 1/2 an inch on 2 sides if it's just a plain cardstock and I don't have to worry about centering a pattern or anything like that. So this is about an 11.5 by 11.5 now. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay these down and make sure they're going to fit. Okay, this is going to be the middle. I want it up a little bit higher because I am going to have my title down here, so I want to make sure I leave myself room for that. So I just want to make sure these are going to fit okay and that they're going to look all right. And I don't mind if they're a little bit closer together than in the picture. That doesn't bother me. Get that. Okay, yeah, I'm good with that. That leaves me enough room on the bottom to do my title. Okay, so I'm going to put these down with some washi tape, and I know you can't see it very well because it's white on white right now, but I'm going to mount these with washi tape, and then I will use my spray mist and kind of just spray around the circles so that I get kind of an outline of the square. So I'm going to make sure that I get like the centers and everything definitely sprayed a good amount so that there's a definite outline. And then I'm going to do that, and then I'll have to let it dry. And while it's drying, I'm going to print my pictures. I haven't even printed them yet. And then I will come back and get the layout done. So I hope you enjoy it. All right, so the first thing I'm doing here is just taking some washi tape that I have on my desk, and I'm going to go ahead and get them down. I do have to pull out my ruler because I want to make sure it's centered. I'm going to cut a lot of this out because I'm not kidding you guys. It took me almost 10 minutes. It was like, I don't know, me and math do not get along. So I finally got it. And I am going ahead and putting all the squares down. And I'm just doing it in the middle kind of lightly because I am going to have to pull them back up after it's all done. But I have 9 3x3 squares here. So I got those. I'm going to put a little bit more on this top one here because I kept pulling it up to center it, and it just kind of lost some of its squareness. So I just added it a little bit more. Okay, so I have these sprays, and I'm going to spray them, but I'm going to block off the bottom part with some scrap cardstock just because I don't want a lot of color on the bottom. That's where my title's gonna go. So I'm using this pink, and this is called My Little Pony, and this is from Studio Calico Mr. Huey's. They're little neon colors that were like a special edition. This blue here is called Mixtape, and then the yellow is called Windbreaker, and the yellow does not end up spraying very well at all. As you can see, it's really coming out very blotchy, and it's just kind of like, it's almost like I poured it on instead of sprayed it. It got very, very saturated. So that one didn't work out quite as well. You can still see the color, obviously, but yeah, so I'm going to save that strip there that has the color sprayed on it. I think that could be cool used on a different layout. And this is what it looks like when it's completely dry. And I really like the way it looks. So I pulled up the squares and let it dry, and that's the outcome, and I really like it. So now I'm trying to find something to back it with because I want it mounted on something. And I don't know, nothing is really working because those colors are so bright. And I'm just, yeah, I'm not 100% sure. And as you can see, when I put it back down, you're going to see like there's drips and stuff, especially along the bottom. And that's just because of the yellow. So I don't like any of the papers. And then I'm putting them on the cardstock, and I'm like, nothing I love there either. So I'm going to pull a piece of black cardstock, and that's really going to help. I kind of wanted the gray, but it just wasn't enough contrast for me. But the black definitely is. So the black was perfect. So I'm going to put it on there. And I'm going to go ahead and put it down. I'm using a lot of adhesive, and that's because this cardstock is wet and got a little bit warped. So I want it to lay as flat as possible. So I needed to use a lot of adhesive down here to make sure it lays flat. And I'm going to go ahead and get my title started because I know what title I want to use. It's going to be Back to School. So I'm going to use these Amy Tangerine vellum letter stickers, and I'm going to use gray. And as you can see, there's a couple different shades of gray, so I'm just going to kind of alternate them a little bit. I don't put too much thought into it, but I just make sure I use all three shades. So I'm going to cut a lot of this out because it takes me a little while to get all the letters. But I'm going to end up spelling Back to School all with the gray. And then for the O's, there's only 2 O's in here, so I had to use a Q and just cut off the tail to make a third O. And then put my last one here. So there's my title. And I got up to do something. I'm not sure what I got up to do. Oh, and I hit my camera. Sorry, guys. This is the first time I sat down to scrap in a while. It's funny because I had, you know, the first week of school was last week, and I was like, oh, yay, I have all this time to scrapbook. And then I spent all last week with my girlfriends. Like, we really just, we were like, oh, we can do stuff with other children. So we did. Let me tell you, we did. It was fun, but now I kind of want to make sure I'm staying home a little bit more so I can scrap without my kids. Okay, so I used those Fancy Pants turquoise letters to spell Let's Go. So it's going to end up being Let's Go Back to School. And I'm going through these American Crafts die cuts. These are from Amy Tangerine from some of her different lines as well. And I'm grabbing some stuff that are kind of school themed. I have that pencil there that says Brilliant, so I'm going to use that. A pair of scissors, and then 2 little flowers. So I'm going to use all of those. I did have a chipboard pencil on a chipboard thing that I pulled, but I'm going to use this one instead. And then I have my pictures there. So the top row, that one by herself, is Layla, who started kindergarten. And then in the second row starts with Kaylin, and then the girls together. And then on the bottom, on the left-hand side, is my husband and Kaylin while she's at her desk. And then on the right-hand side is my husband at Layla's desk, and then Kaylin was in there as well. So those were the pictures we actually took at school. All right, so now I am pulling some things that I knew I wanted to use specifically on this layout. So I have those 2 little girl icons. I'm going to pull my Studio Calico Stars, that flare badge that says I go, and then I pulled this ampersand, which I end up not using. I'll keep it there for a little while though. So I'm going to go ahead and put my pictures down because I know exactly where I want them to go, and I don't need to really do much else to them. And these pictures are 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, so they're just a little bit smaller than what the squares are. Got those there. I think Kaylin came and was talking to me, so. And my camera's a little off. I've been having issues with my tripod lately. My camera keeps moving on it, so I'll set it up to where it's good, and then it starts kind of drifting a little bit. I'm not sure why that's happening. I've tried tightening it, but it didn't really work. So I'm just trying to make sure I know where I want everything to go, and then just kind of see what else I want to pull. I looked at those wood veneers, but I didn't really like them that much. They're a little bit too big for what I'm looking for. So I'm going to go to the sticker book here and see what I can find in here that I might want to use. And I think right now I'm just kind of glancing and seeing if there's anything for sure. I don't know if I pull anything out or not. Yes, I do. I pull this little tiny border that has like the pinks and the yellows. So I'm going to put that there. That kind of helps hide the little imperfection there on the lower right hand side from the misting. And then I pulled the Be Kind circle, and that really stood out to me, not only for the colors, but it also is something that I say to my kids all the time. I always encourage them to be kind to others and to be kind to themselves as well. And then I put a little floral behind Layla's picture, and then I have that little green arrow that I stuck over by Kaylin's picture as well. So I went ahead and put down my pencil. I'm going to use a foam square to put down this flare badge here, and I'm just going to kind of overlap that on the Be Kind circle. I'm going to put these scissors down here as well. And I got up again. I don't know where I'm going. Apparently I have places to be. My kids were home. I think I did this on a Saturday, so my kids were home, so I probably had to go be a referee or something. And then I used this circle, kind of, it looks like a flower. It's like a paper flower with a yellow button in the middle. So I put that there. And that was inspiration from Amy's layout as well. She had something very similar to that in hers. And then I overlapped a little chipboard piece that says "You Are So Loved," and it's a clipboard. And then I overlapped that with a little die cut from the Amy Tangerine die cut pack that I had pulled. These little girls, I decided to get smaller ones from my stash because I wanted to put them down here by the title instead. So I'm just going to do something different up here at the top in that square. So I just swapped them out for smaller girls. I'm going through these stickers again. I found a number 2, so I'm going to put that there because I have 2 girls. So I'm going to go ahead and lay these down here and use my quick dry adhesive for the chipboard because chipboard tends to not stick for the long haul, so I always feel like I need to reinforce it. And then this is when I decided to pull these little days of the week tabs. So I have every day of the week, but I just pulled Monday through Friday, and I'm going to put these up here because obviously that's when they are going to be going to school. And they're gold. And they just fit nicely up in the square. And then I kept thinking about using these little tabs to document what grade they're in, but they were just a little bit too big. So I'm not going to use those. But I do decide that I have these little alphabet stickers here that I could use some more of. And then on the bottom, I have some tabs. So I was thinking I could maybe document their grades that way because I'm not going to be doing any journaling on this layout. But I do want to indicate somehow what grade that they are going into with this layout here. So I'm going to use the brown. And I'm going to use these 2 tabs on the bottom. So I'm going to use the blue one for Layla, and I'm going to write kinder because she's in kindergarten. But obviously I can't fit all that on there. So I'm just going to write kinder. Let me tell you, these tiny alphabets, ooh, they are fun to work with, let me tell you. And then for Kaylin's, I'm gonna write third on the pink one here. And then I will stick those next to their pictures, their individual pictures. These little alphabets are tricky because they're so tiny. And you gotta get all those little crevices out. All right, so I got Layla's, I'm gonna put Kinder up here. And then for Kaylin's, I'm gonna do third down there. All right, I'm gonna go ahead now and get my title stuck down. I'm gonna start in the middle with the 2 so that it's centered, and then I will get my entire title stuck down. So there's that. I think I leave at this point to get up and go make dinner because it was starting to get around dinner time, and then I'm gonna come back afterwards and finish up, which is right here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put these little girls down, and then I will get the rest of my title. I always try to go backwards with my letters so that they nestle up correctly. If I started at the beginning, there's no way. It'd be all over the place. Okay, so there's my final title. Let's go back to school. I found this little arrow in here as a little yellow arrow, so I thought that would be cute right there to kind of anchor those 2 girls down there. And then I will also put these flowers down here as well. This is from the American Crafts die cut pack. And now I'm going to spread some sequins. I'm going to use the Studio Calico Star sequins, and I'm going to scatter them along a few of the squares here. And definitely up on top because I had a lot of white space in that one, so I just wanted to make sure I did that. And then I'll also put some around the title. And I'm just going to kind of go around. I'm not going to glue them down on camera. I do use my quick dry adhesive to do that, so I'm just going to do that off camera after I turn it off, but I'm just going to kind of keep them there for now. So I like where it's going. I still think I need like a little bit more of something, and I'm going to end up adding this little sticker here underneath Kaylin's picture down here just to kind of mimic the flowers under Layla's picture up at the top right hand corner. I'm going to do that, and it did overlap onto the black a little bit, and just to kind of help balance it out a little bit, I'm going to move this sticker over a little bit just so that that's overlapping the black as well. And that's going to complete my layout. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know if you have any questions at all, and I will try to answer them. And again, I will leave a link to Victoria's class down below. It is $10 right now until August 26th, and then it goes up to $12. So very, very good value. Hope you guys check it out. Have a great day. I'll see you soon. Bye.